Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I'm Jewel. As you can see, we are working on the Jules Peaceful Valley map again, and we're behind the trailer park or the mobile home park. And what I'm thinking about doing, I'm not committed fully yet. I'm just trying to make some decisions. And again, these fields are not necessarily permanent per se, but I'm just getting a feel for the ground. I'm getting some sizes, different sizes in there so I can go test it in game and look at the distance and how big they feel and all that. So some of this ain't gonna be final. It's just me working through what I want to do. What I'm thinking, these aren't final. These here are just sitting there. What I was thinking is at the top of this hill, have some sort of house, and all around the house for the most part. Maybe not on one side, maybe on this side, maybe like on this side here, just a little bit out. It'll be clear, no trees. But like all the rest around here, so I'm thinking pretty much put some trees, around about this blocking this area a little bit off from some of this area. There's going to be trees, like I said, somewhat here in different area. And I think we're going to have some trees come along here. And at some point come up. We'll have a house on the top of the hill. The trees is going to surround it, maybe. Potentially. Because, you know, we're going to have a lot of room for fields. And I just don't know. I want to have some trees somewhere. So, I guess we'll grab a house and just see what it looks like. Another thing I gotta figure is I want some sort of pathway to get here. And I don't really want to go through the trailer park. So I gotta decide how I'm gonna do that. The only other way would be to could make a dirt road. But I'd have to lift that up just a hair on this side. And have a dirt road come somehow. Have something come there. Fix that, have a dirt road swoop around there, cut up through the trees to the house. Cause you gotta have a way to get there. And like I said, a lot of this is gonna be trees up in here, so we could put the trees around the road, bring the trees up some of this here, up around here. Like I say, put the house on the top, and then cascade some of the trees down the side to the bottom, and then not all the way around the whole hill. Part of this is still going to be like field area. So I'm trying to decide how far I'm going to take it, potentially. What we could do is add another one here, but then again, we're on already a pretty good bit there. And if we left it, maybe we'd add a shed or something. I'm just trying to see. We could potentially add a shed here for those fields and then just pretend like there's no fields any further here if we put a shed there. Or we don't even have to put nothing there. We'll either put a shed there. We could put a field there. I don't know if I want one there or not. It could just be grass for them to cut. Um, hmm. Like I say, we would have to have a road coming up this to the top of the hill. We're gonna have the trees come down. They're gonna come out so far. Let me see what my slope is. I'm gonna have a field on some of this, so I don't know how far down I'm gonna go with the trees. So in the meantime, let's just grab a tree, I guess. Okay, they're gonna be a pain. Let me see. And I don't know what trees I'm going to end up using. This is going to be something for visual. This is not necessarily what I'm using. Let's back up. Okay. And I'm not going to do all that right now. I'm just going to outline it up to what I might do to it. Okay. Let's put this over here. Control B, or let's just duplicate. Control D, duplicate. Hopefully it'll do it if it didn't already. There we go. And then Control B as in boy, and then left mouse click. Now we're going to Control D, duplicate it. Wait till it does it. And then we're going to Control B as in boy, left mouse click. And I'm just going to kind of make it go, because we're going to have a trail. It's going to come back here. We might smooth this down and come up the hill. Have a trail come this way, then get on up to the top of the hill, which is going to be the house. We could go ahead and... Is this that same house that's on the other hill? I don't want the same house. Yeah, I don't want the same house. Let's go find another house. There's a house. Now this is a different house. This is the one we put by the church. So, and that's way over there. So that's plenty of distance. So we'll put this over here. So let's click on it. Click on the main group. Bring it on over till we get there, roughly. And then we can situate it. And again, we'll have to adjust the ground, obviously. I'm going to put it at 0 just to see where it faces. Because we're going to have a trail coming up through the woods here. Somewhere along here. So I don't mind this being the back, because the trail's going to come up to the back, probably, of the house, so to speak. Okay. And let me see. If we lift this up to there, that's about where that would meet. And so the road would come up on this side, and we'll either get rid of the fence or whatever. We don't necessarily need the fence. So let's get rid of the fence as soon as it lets me. Actually, let me duplicate this again. Control D as in dog. Have another copy in case I want to put it somewhere again. And then we'll delete the fence. And there we go. Delete that. Because we're going to be surrounded by trees, and I don't need a fence per se. Now let's look at the front. Okay. So it's got all those boxes. I don't even think the church one had all that. We'll have to go check. We must not have brought everything with us. We'll have to see. But this will be adjusted. But basically, if you're way over here, we could have a road also going that way if we need to. We're going to have, some of these aren't going to be like real roads like this. Like I plan to make some sort of road for that. But I'm talking about, like, when I say real road, I'm talking about that type. Dirt trails or whatever I'm calling, like, they're not fake, but they're not concrete or asphalt or made in Blender or made with the Spline Street Constructor. They're just a dirt road painted grass painted textures used, kind of thing. So if this is here, that wouldn't be a bad uh, visual of it from that side if our main access to this house was here. And this side, we could have an access to some fields, because obviously we got to have some fields up here. Now the trees are only going to go so far, they're not going to go everywhere. So there's going to be fields out there. And we got to have room for more houses too to go with fields, because we don't want, we need a little something for them to have. So these fields are going to go with these, I suppose, roughly speaking. And those might totally change, like I said. I'm just looking and seeing, because we got a nice slope for a field. I don't know if it's too steep. I ain't tested it yet in game, so. But that's a big old nice little slope there. So depending on how I wanted to do that, and I gotta fix this road, so we gotta remember that. We can't just go too far with it until we fix it. And this has gotta be fixed too. I may even bring this up to make this not as steep. Just not all the way. But let's just work on this house for now and throw a couple trees just for markings to say, hey, this is this. Control D, let it duplicate. And of course we'll have to get different sizes. But let's just say Control B is in boy, left mouse click. And of course we'll have different sizes. Them may be way too big, we'll see. But you can see, if you're somewhere over here, if that was all full of trees, you wouldn't see the house. And you're going to have trees all along. And there'll be different ones, obviously. Let's do another Control D. And I want to bring one down a little. Okay, Control B is in boy, left mouse click. And just see if they look too big or what do they look like. Okay, so that's not terrible. And then of course there'll be different ones. Let's hit Control D again. Let it do its thing. Control B, left mouse click. And as you can see, you can't see it. And depending on your angle, you won't be able to see it because there'll be trees all up in there. And we'll strategically place them however we need to. And again, they're going to come along. And we'll have some here, And then this will lift up a little so we can get a dirt road to come around. Go on this side, come on this side, come back. So basically you're going to come on this side, then the dirt road's going to turn, then come over here, and then you're going to go up the hill to your stuff. So, you get the point. Now all this is going to be subject to change. Again, we just working with what we got here, seeing what we're going to do. Now we're going to get an area lifted up carefully. We're going to go a little past it because we need to. Because we're going to have to slope it. And when you slope it, it takes away what you just did. So try to always go past it when you slope it. And again, I hit Control R at the spot I wanted to take and make the level. And then it's already on replace, as you see the left mouse button here. When I hit Control R, it gives me these numbers. And those are the numbers saying, see how it's going up to do that. And now I can just slope it this way. With the smooth button, right mouse button, it says smooth down there. You can look in here and see. And you just keep hovering over it, holding the mouse button down. And we'll smooth this away from it enough that it don't knock all that back down. And now we can get over this way. And make sure we lift this side up enough. And this front part to get all this, go a little past it, Now we're going to smooth it, like so, away from the house, so as to not knock it back down. in those areas. Now that's got to come up some more, as you can see, or it should anyway. Now that didn't go all the way up, so we got to go all over the house. So try to make sure you stay up in that area and go back and forth enough, and then just smooth the edges, and don't go back on top of the house area or you'll knock it down too far. But as you can see, we'll lower anything we need to. Now this house, remember, it had to be adjusted because this wasn't there, or we could put a pair of steps there if we have some. I think we had some, but I'd have to find them. So I'm gonna leave it alone for now. So, in fact, I wonder if that door can be done away with. If the door can just be deleted, then whatever. Let me see. Interior. Window. What does that say? Oh, grab the wrong thing. Well, that's not what I had in mind, so why is it being a pain? Okay, it's not working. It's supposed to let me drag that over, but they're grabbing this one for some reason. Alrighty. This says res house, so I gotta back up and see if that's the only thing they're grabbing. Yeah, that looks like it. Problem is there's both doors, so ain't no point in deleting it. But usually you can just delete something if you need to, depending on what you need to delete. So we're not going to delete anything in this case. We're just going to click off all that. And again, we'll have to move everything later and or make the ground come up. We ain't worried about that right now. This is just getting it all kind of situated to figure out how it's going to flow. Then we can smooth it down again, like I said, on these edges to tie it back into these little areas. And then the trees, like I say, we'll grab this tree again and we'll click on the last one and click Control D as in dog. And we'll come around when it duplicates and hit Control B. Left mouse click, and again, some of them will be different, so that's not final. But I'm just showing you kind of the distance of where the trees will be. So it'll be a decent amount of trees, and but then not too much, and we'll still have room if we want to put a field. We can put a field here, or two fields, and then over on this side, I'm hoping, potentially, we'll see, it's pretty steep, we'll see. It looks steeper than it is probably, but we gotta look in game to really see what we got here. And then we can smooth this real nice right there. And that's where we could put a field if we wanted. So we could say, well, come out and there's the field. And then all the trees are all behind us. And our trail's here. So when we look down, we have one or two fields here for this house. So it's kind of tucked away. These can be trees down here behind these trailers. Kind of give a little privacy here. The field could come this way up to the tree line and be whatever shape we need it to be. Let's click on this and get it out of my view because I don't like that. Thank you. Please move along. Alright. And so like I say, the field can come at a certain level depending on what we can do with it. Let's just paint something down and see, because obviously we gotta have trees come along so far too. So let's just put it on something, grab that, Control R, and see if we can paint something down. Let's paint with the round brush, and let's just say they come out of their house, that this is the trail. Then they're gonna have they can come right off this corner if they need to drive down, but there's gonna be trees here. So the field would be somewhere over here. maybe it would be off of the house just a bit. Something like so. Maybe goes down the hill. And I don't know how big, like I said. And then we can have this following the tree line wherever that's going to be, depending. We may have to move it over some, because like I say, I'm pretty far away from where the trees are going to be, I think. Let's put one here so I can at least decide. Where's the tree at? Come on. It don't want to let me grab it. Get the last one, Control D, and then let it duplicate. And then I'm going to click it over here, Control B. Alright, so that's behind this trailer, like so. So they'll see trees back there, like that. And then, so we're pretty far from it, so we could move it a little, but I'm actually going to put more than one tree, so that's why I didn't want to go so far. So, say Control D just for example's sake. Like I said, I'm not doing the trees right now, because I hadn't decided everything about that yet either. Control D, and then we'll bring one here as soon as it duplicates, and Control B, and then Control D as in dog, let it duplicate, and then Control B as in boy, left mouse click, and as you can see, we'd have some privacy. There'll be more trees, obviously. Remember, these are going to be trees, a trail. So when you come out from here in your driveway, you can drive off here down to go do the field, and there'll probably be like a path here around the field. So we got to have a little room there, potentially. So we'll either take away some of the field, because we're going to have a path and some trees. So we might just take away a little bit of this, like so, and make it a different shape, and have the trees come around. Because if I put a path, let me put something there. What do I want to put there? We're going to put, no, I don't want to do that. What do we want? We obviously don't want this permanently. We'll just put gravel, but we're not going to keep that permanently. So basically, I'm just giving an example. Say that's that. This will be like dirt, like a road, okay? So we'll know where we can put our trees, and then this can go wherever it's going to go. It'll be like a dirt road, okay? This is just an example. Okay, and then these trees potentially can go up this here a little bit to the top of there. Not all those, but up on the top of this hill, and maybe on the top of this hill we'll have trees, and then we'll have fields down here, and then of course this road is obviously going to be wider than what it might be. It'll be close. We got to adjust it and make it right. But so basically, they come out, they walk over. We'll have to smooth some of this, and there's their field. Now we'll have to see, is it big enough? Is it too big? What is it? What needs to be done to it? Is it okay? Is it too steep? And what we can do is we can adjust this a little bit and not have it quite like that. And go a little further over with it, like so, and then take this back. We don't have to be as close as that, but you get the point. And this can go something like this. We'll see what we do, but you get the point. And so the field, depending on where we take this road, dirt road, if we keep going with it or if we just let it be an access for trailers or whatever we do. I had thought about bringing in a road here for another access point. I just don't know yet. if I want to do that. So that's a potential, but I don't know if I want to put a dirt road there or not. So maybe, maybe not. Or if we do, it's not going to come all the way. The trees are going to cut through. This dirt road will come up, turn. The trees are going to go there, so this dirt road's going to hug the tree line. And there'll be a fields here for this house. Remember, we're going to slope that. We're going to fix that better. And then them trees are going to go up this. Let me go ahead and click on it to do it. Control D and just get it going kind of in that direction. Alright, I think it did it. Alright, roughly. And Control D. And Control B as in boy. Alright, so basically it's going to go up that, and then this new road, if we make one, say if we make a dirt path, and this is going to be sloped again, like I said, and it can hug these trees. They'll be more full looking trees to that road and to here. So it's going to be like a triangle shape. To there, trees. This is going to be trees. Then to there, wherever this road hooks up at, is going to be trees. As you can see, come this way. It's going to hug the tree line. And then it can go to whichever house behind the fields of this house. So like this house is going to have its fields. Let's just draw a road so we don't get confused. Let's grab this. It's just so we can see it. This is not what it's going to look like. This is just an example. And it's going to hug the trees. And there'll be fields here. This is going to slope. And those trees, for privacy's sake, is going to come all in this triangle for the most part. Or we may put a little playground in the corner here for the kids or something. If we don't put one probably somewhere else. We'll see. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know yet. Alright. And then that'll be smaller. Obviously it'll be a dirt road. This is going to slope way more. We're going to bring this back further a little bit. So that it's flat. And slope this better. There'll be fields here for these. Remember, we still have this side if we wanted to put fields over there for it. Like, we could even bring a road to here, put a house up here, trees here, in this little section, and then this house here, have a field across the road or whatever we need to do, or however we need to do it. I'm not sure yet, but I don't think we're going to do it like that. We're going to just, anyway, duplicate, and we're going to run this tree, just for example's sake. I think it did it. Up this hill, and duplicate it again. Control D as in dog, and Control B again. Duplicate it again, and Control B. But basically, they'll be wider than that. It won't just be one tree, but you get the point. So it'll be a little wider, maybe several, and then wherever the top of the hill ends up being, you know, we'll have a little bit more, like a outcrop of trees or whatever you want to call it, and then we can keep moving from there. I don't want to go much further with that explanation, but this field honestly isn't bad. I just don't know if it's going to be too small or too big, so I'm trying to think, do we need it smaller and just something like that, or what do we need? Like I say, none of this is final. We'll have to look in game. We'll have to change a lot of things, you know. So it just depends on what we end up doing. The other house here, you know, we're not going to have one that close to this house, I don't think. We could potentially have one over here somewhere. But again, we've got plenty of room for fields and stuff like that. We may end up, like I say, putting trees on different spots, just, because it's on a hill or something where we wouldn't really want that steep of a, you know, this is way up, so we gotta fix all that later, but, um, we wouldn't want that much of a slope on some of them. But anyway, I think I'm good there. I don't want to make this video too long, but you get the point. And then obviously smaller trees are going to look a little different than bigger trees. And again, I don't know what trees I'm going to be using. We will see. But I guess I'm trying to decide. We don't want this in the way, so let's click on it. Get this out of the way. That don't belong. At least not yet. Okay. And that's pretty much it for this episode. I guess we're going to call that an episode. And I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.